Friends, many people talk about the Aryan invasion of India, while some others say that the Aryan people groups migrated out of India. In fact, there is some truth to both these claims. However, before we go there, one need to realize that it is not even proper to consider Aryans as a race. Wonder why? It is because every race needs a progenitor. The Aryan race doesn't have one. They were called Aryans because they came out of the Arata region on the Armenian side after Noah's Ark landed on Mount Ararat. This geographical origin is what groups them as Aryans. If you consider the biblical account, Noah's Ark landed on Mount Ararat in Turkey in the year 3298 BC. From that region, Noah's son Shem came to the Gangetic plains of India and established ancient India. He is the King Bharat of India. He is also called Divodasa in Rigveda. Rigveda claims that Indra did many miracles for him on his way to India. In fact, Noah's son Shem, the King Bharat of India, worshipped his father's god Yahweh. And it was Yahweh who did miracles for him, just like he did to Moses on his way to the promised land. Now, how can I say this? Well, it is because the person who they call Indra, who was the Mizraim of the Bible, hadn't even been born when Bharat came to India. So, is it an invasion? Yes, partly so, because when he came there were a lot of other people groups settled there, and it was only a miracle of God. Shem the Bharat managed to establish a kingdom among others. His coalition partners were his brother Japheth's descendants, the Purus, who had come from the Siberian region known as Uttarakuru by the Indians. And these were the people who gained power after Shem's demise. They formed the Kuru dynasty, and during their rule, the Kurukshetra war, also known as the Mahabharata war, took place. Now, the Bible states that Shem continued to live for another 502 years after Noah's flood. So, we can assume that Shem, the King Bharat, lived for about 400 plus years in India. Then, around 3000 BC, African people started moving into India in two batches. The first one was Noah's son Ham and his band of men labeled as Aboriginals that entered India through the south. They swept through India for a short while, made a big splash, and ended up in Bactria. After that, around 2950 BC, Ham's son Cush, known as Kashyapa in Hinduism, having been driven out from the city of Kish in Mesopotamia by Sargon the Great, moved into India along with his descendants such as Rama, Krishna, and Vishwamitra. Meanwhile, the split among the people of Shem, also known as the Aryans, was starting to take place. They became two groups, namely the Devas and the Asuras, and they accused each other. Devas accused the other of mixing with the giant race, and hence they were Asuras. And the Asuras said that the Devas are drunkards, lazy, and they steal cows in the name of sacrifices to God and eat them up, and so on. For more details, one has to read both the Indian Vedas and the Iranian Avesta, particularly the Vendidat portion of it. And they also fought. Now, the Rig Veda records three major battles. The first was the Battle of Haryupiya in Haryana on the banks of Yavyavati and Haryupiya rivers, two sister tributaries of the river Saraswati at the time of Sranjaya, who was the father of Divodasa. By the way, I already mentioned that Divodasa was Shem. So, Sranjaya was his father Noah, and apparently he helped Shem when he established his kingdom. Now, in the first battle, there was a group of people called the Anus who had linguistic connections with Armenia, where Shem, the king Bharat, had come from. They joined hands with Shem's people, the Bharatas, Japheth's descendants, the Purus, and defeated Turvasus and Yadus in order to establish Bharatvarsha, the ancient India. Then the second battle was the Battle of 10 Kings, also known as the Dasarajanya War in the Punjab region, led by Sudas, the son of Shem. Dasarajanya is in the west on the banks of the river Parusni, which is the third and central river, also known as Ravi, in the Punjab region. But by now, the Anus had become the enemies of Bharatas and they appear on the enemy side. However, they get defeated and pushed further westward. In the third battle, which took place in the Afghanistan region, the Anus can be seen being pushed even further toward the west. An Indian scholar named Shrikant Talageri has done a great job of listing the companions of Anus mentioned in the Rig Veda and how they correspond to similar sounding names of the personalities all the way to Albania. And he cites these events as the reasons for the Indo-European linguistic connections. Please watch his videos for more clarity on the subject. Finally, in context of all that we saw here, both the Aryan invasion theory and the out of the India theory can make sense depending upon which angle one looks at it. Thanks for watching.